All right, let's get into it. Today we're deconstructing a story called The Echo in the Net. We're going to be stepping into this incredible, rain-soaked, neon-drenched cyberpunk world to explore its super oppressive digital landscape, meet a hero who fights with silence, and, well, uncover a kind of rebellion that is just as subtle as it is powerful.
So, the story kicks off with these words from our protagonist, and right away, you get this feeling. You're dropped into a world that's not just high-tech, it's mysterious, it's philosophical. This tells you that data here isn't just ones and zeros. No, it's like a living, breathing force that carries the whole city's secrets.
First things first, let's get a feel for the setting. So picture this, you're in this massive, sprawling cyberpunk city. You've got these giant skyscrapers that just disappear into the clouds, neon signs are flickering everywhere over these dark, damp streets, and massive holograms are trying to sell you on this perfect life that, probably doesn't exist. And this city, it is literally a world of two halves. On one side, you have the high sectors, clean, sterile, completely under control. And on the other, you've got the low sectors. Think chaotic, rundown, but also, weirdly, a bit more free. This massive gap between the haves and have-nots, well, that's the engine that drives pretty much all the conflict in this story.
So you might be wondering, what's controlling everything? Well, it's this thing called the CCN, or the Collective Consciousness Network. I want you to imagine a system that sees everything, that knows everything. It processes every single thing you buy, every message you send, maybe even every thought you have. It's basically total surveillance, just packaged as a way to run the city.
And of course, someone's got to be pulling the strings behind a network like that, right? Yep, meet OmniCorp. They're the ones who took this powerful technology, which was actually designed by a genius neuroscientist, and twisted it into a tool for control, for profit, and for social engineering. These are our bad guys.
So, in a world that is this locked down, who on earth is going to fight back? Well, it's time to meet our hero, Hucifer.
Now, Hucifer is not your typical hero. He's not loud, he's not flashy, he's this quiet, mysterious figure who's really defined by his empathy and his silence. He's a planner, a strategist. His kindness, well, you see it in what he does, not what he says. And you get the sense he's carrying this heavy weight, this sadness that comes from being disconnected from the very world he's trying to protect.
And this is where things get really interesting. His superpower isn't a laser gun or super strength. It's a state of mind. He can enter something called active meditation by combining deep focus with his insane cybersecurity skills. And when he does this, he can literally feel the flow of data. He can sense the weak spots and move data streams around like they're made of water.
And having that kind of power leads him to this huge internal struggle. This quote just nails it. He has this almost godlike ability in the digital world, but he's constantly wrestling with how to use it. I mean, think about it. How do you free people who are so controlled that they don't even realize they're prisoners?
Okay, so we've got the hero, we've got the villain, now we need the crisis that sets everything in motion. And this is where OmniCorp's control stops being an abstract idea and becomes a very real threat. Here's how the nightmare works. OmniCorp unleashes a predictive algorithm. It's just a piece of code that scans the low sectors looking for people it labels a social risk. Once the algorithm flags you, the CCN tags you, and that's it. You're scheduled to be forcibly removed from your home. It is cold, it is efficient, and it is completely inhumane. And this isn't just theory. It has real human costs. A message pops up on a hidden forum. It's a cry for help from a young hacktivist named Kai. Her brother, who's a brilliant programmer, has been tagged. Why? Because the system sees his talent not as a gift, but as a threat to OmniCorp's total control. And who's listening to that river of data? Hucifer. He detects this desperate plea. He knows he has to act. But he's not going to go in, guns blazing. His approach is something OmniCorp has never seen before. And this really is the central puzzle of the whole story. In a world of total surveillance, where any direct attack is going to be spotted instantly, how can one person possibly stand up to a corporate giant that sees and knows everything? It feels impossible, right?
Well, the answer is, you don't fight it head-on. Hucifer's whole strategy isn't about smashing the machine. It's about finding just the right places to apply a little pressure, to gently, almost invisibly, bend it in a new direction.
So let's break down how he pulls this off, because it's absolutely brilliant. He knows deleting the tag would be way too obvious. It set off all kinds of alarms. So instead, he works inside the system's own rules. He just nudges the algorithm a little bit. He creates a little digital ghost, a false echo that tricks the system into chasing his shadow. He's playing their game to beat them. And that incredibly subtle action, it all comes back to his core philosophy. For him, making real, lasting change isn't about some big, violent explosion. It's about being the needle and thread, quietly, patiently, weaving something better into the fabric of the world.
So the plan is clever, for sure. But the big question is, did it actually work? What were the results of this invisible rescue machine?
And the answer is yes, it worked perfectly. The OmniCorp enforcers get to the apartment, they bust in, and it's empty. As far as their system is concerned, it was just a glitch, a simple location error. But because of that error, Kai's brother is safe. He got an anonymous message telling him exactly where to go to disappear.
But you can't be that clever and go completely unnoticed. The story's villain, the cold and calculating Director Reed at OmniCorp, she's not buying the whole glitch story. She's way too smart for that. She knows something's wrong. She knows someone interfered. And now she has a name for it, a ghost in her perfect machine.
And that's where this chapter leaves us. It's with this powerful thought. Helping people doesn't always have to be loud to be effective, but it also raises this massive question for our own digital age, doesn't it? In a world with more and more observation, can any quiet act of defiance, any silent act of good, really stay invisible forever? Or does every echo eventually lead right back to its source?
Remember, you are wonderful and unique people.